Social status and human responsibility. A humanistic reflection on the attitude needed to prevent misfortune in life. This video goes beyond the narrow topic often framed as the duties of public officials. Instead, it raises a more fundamental question. How should a person who has been granted social status or a favorable environment live in order to avoid misfortune in life? This is not a discussion limited to a specific profession. It is a humanistic reflection on universal principles of life that apply to every individual living in modern society. 1. Why does misfortune occur in life? The structural logic of cause and effect. The video explains that misfortunes such as accidents, illness, especially cancer, fraud, and family conflict are not random events. Rather, they are the result of an imbalance between one's personal life and one's social role. Every individual is granted a certain social mass appropriate to their position, authority, trust, economic power, and status. However, when this mass is not used for the benefit of society and is instead consumed solely for personal desire or convenience, the accumulated energy eventually returns to the individual. This is not punishment or judgment. It is the precise result dictated by the laws of nature. In particular, when authority or resources entrusted for the public good are misused for private gain, nature reclaims an equivalent amount through other means. This explains why life becomes shaken through fraud, accidents, or illness. 2. The true nature of public office and work. Not a place of privilege, but a place of learning. Today, many young people prefer government positions or large corporations mainly for their stability and benefits. The video challenges this perspective at its root. Public office is sustained by the taxes of citizens, their labor, sweat, and sacrifice. Therefore, its essence is not a place to accumulate wealth or enjoy comfort, but a learning ground where one studies society and cultivates personal growth, a kind of school of society. From this viewpoint, all public servants and employees are not merely workers, but researchers of society. They are expected to observe social problems, reflect on possible improvements, and contribute to the community from their respective positions. If one remains focused only on salary, complaints, and complacency, that individual will inevitably become disconnected from society and fall behind. 3. The true standard of success. Respect, not money. The video clearly corrects modern society's misunderstanding of success. Wealth, property, and external achievements are not the essence of success. True success is living a life that earns respect and trust from juniors and from society. As social beings, success that lacks recognition from others cannot endure. Furthermore, the video explains that economic prosperity naturally follows such respect. The words of a respected person carry weight. People gather around them, and economic foundations form as a byproduct of that trust. In other words, economic power is not the goal, but the result. 4. Interpreting hardship. Not punishment, but a signal to learn. If life feels blocked and difficulties repeat themselves, this is not punishment from God or fate. It is closer to a signal urging self-examination and renewed learning. The video cautions against self-blame and resentment. Human beings are often thrust into society without having received sufficient education on how to live rightly as members of a community. Confusion is therefore natural. However, if one begins, even now, to realign oneself with the intention of benefiting society, tangled situations gradually unravel, and balance in life can be restored. 5. Summary and a message to the younger generation. The core message this video delivers to young people is clear. Move beyond a career mindset focused only on personal comfort and survival. A job is not merely a means of livelihood. It is a place of learning where one trains and matures within society. If one fails to consider how much they are returning to society relative to the status and benefits they have received, the natural order will inevitably demand balance. Ultimately, the goal of life is not to become rich. It is to become someone truly needed and respected by others. When this goal is clearly set, the many storms that once shook one's life naturally begin to subside.